be live here for NFL Week 9, I believe we are on. Decent slate today. Ethan, welcome. It's our traditional Sunday morning live. Kind of just for me and Ethan and for you guys just to dive through the board. I'm a little ill prepared, I'll tell you right now. But it's just, it helps us talk through the games, pick each other's brains ahead of the week 9 NFL board. So I did have a profitable Thursday night in the NFL, huge Thursday night for me. Hit a pretty big parlay, went 5-0 and straight bets. Looking to continue that in the NFL. I have saved myself a couple units for some player props because honestly, those are what are saving me in the NFL. It's probably why my college is doing so poorly because my game lines I'm just not seeing well. Not really well in the NFL, but worse in college. So I've saved up a couple for player props. There's one that I like that I think you will get on as well. I think you'll enjoy this one. But yeah, kind of going through the slate. Ethan, I know we just talked a little bit before the show here. How was your weekend? How was your bets? I know I kind of went up and down, ended slightly profitable on a Hail Mary last minute player prop in that SMU game. But how did you fare in college football?
Yeah, I one of my better weeks of the college football season, and I completely broke even. 4-4. Yeah, hit some nice ones. FSMU was my favorite. I only made it a 1.5 unit play, which I'm kind of bummed about. Wish I would have gone a little bit bigger, but that was easy, no sweat. One on uh, Syracuse, one on Minnesota, one on don't remember who that other winner was on, but did jump in on Arkansas Live, jumped in on Navy following a guy that I really like to tail, and both of those didn't get there. So I'm kind of upset. Wish I just would have left those off. Got the 4-2 win. Um, but yeah, it was just straight break even day. 1-1 in the NBA because the Cavs scored that game winner at the
Yeah.
buzzer. That one hurt. I did jump in on the Hornets plus 11. They lost by 10 or 9. So that was a nice little wash there. Lost the NHL like I've just been doing all season. I just cannot figure that out. That being said, I do have a play locked for today. And then won a Premier League soccer bet in the morning. So yeah, I think it was like literally a 6-6 day.
Yeah, my action was exactly 6-6. So yeah, kind of a wash, but we're looking for some good bets today. So if you guys in the chat have any bets that you like, please let us know. Or if you have any fantasy questions or any questions about anything football related, please let us know. We can jump to those games or those comments moving forward.
With how Saturdays have gone, I think we'll both take the wash.
Right.
Survive, live to play another day.
Yeah, I've had games this or weeks this college football season where I literally went 0 for 12. So on some of those were like some crazy parlays, but like probably 70% of that 0 for 12 was on 50-50 spreads. So
Yeah.
not great. So yeah, we'll take the wash up any amount of units, whether it be a penny or a dollar or $100, sign me up. But yeah, going into the slate today, we do have a big game for Detroit. Obviously, me and Ethan, big Detroit fans here. So you got a Miami Dolphins hat on, though. That's interesting. Okay. But Detroit has a big divisional game between them and the them and the Packers. They're at Green Bay. Lions moved down to 2.5-point dogs for Green Bay at home. I did see that Jordan Love will be playing in this game, but we'll save that one for a little bit later. That's at 4:25. It's um, hopefully I can get that one on TV. I doubt it though. I'll probably get the freaking Eagles game on. But yeah, that's a good, honestly, a good 4 p.m. slate, better than last week's. But yeah, let's get to the 1 p.m. slate, starting off with the field goal fest that this was a couple weeks ago. The Commanders and the Giants. I have 3 bets locked in already. Unfortunately, this Giants +4 is one of those 3 bets. I'm back on them, and I absolutely hate it. For all the same reasons, I'm always on the Giants though. Public is heavy on the Commanders, heavy on the team that the Giants are playing because again, this team sucks. Um, but we said it on our intentional lounging. If you guys do want more in-depth predictions and previews, you can check out our YouTube show, Intentional Lounging, where we go through the whole slip. But they should have won this first game. They got their field goal kicker injured. Commanders won it 21-18, I believe, and the Commies had 7 field goals and won. Again, the Giants, they went for it like on 4th and 6. It would have been like a 40-yard field goal, but field goal kicker out. So Giants should have won that game. And unfortunately, I'm back on them at home this time. Commies coming off a Hail Mary win. God, give me the Giants. And I hate it, but I've locked them in.
Yeah. Well, just really quick before I get into the game. Back in high school, I was just a huge snapback collector, so I just have a ton of them. Just brought them back from my parents' house. Now they're just collecting dust. I hate the way they fit my head nowadays. But I figure wear them for the show some support for teams that I'm backing. So I am on the Dolphins. But yeah,
Let me interrupt real quick. We have one comment here from Marky on Twitch. Do I pick up Josh Downs, Cedric Tillman, Jacoby Myers, or Elijah Moore for this week? I like Jacoby. He's now the wide receiver 1 without Adams. He had a pretty solid week the last 2 weeks, I believe. Josh Downs is potentially a play with Joe Flacco now at quarterback. Cedric Tillman, I think, was kind of a 1-week wonder. Elijah Moore, I don't know. I see some regression coming from Cleveland. For the rest of the season is what you're asking for as well. I don't know. To be honest, I like Jacoby, but that would be my play. But it's also a Raider, so
yeah, I would do either Downs or Jacoby. I like Jacoby today for sure. I mean,
yeah.
Bengals defense is cheese. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Downs is just kind of like that hit or miss guy, I think.
Yeah,
Jacoby kind of is too.
he's like the Alec Pierce on the
Yeah.
same team. He might have one catch for 80 yards or not get targeted.
Honestly, that entire receiving core is hit or miss. The
Right.
entire offense is hit or miss. Yeah, it'd be Jacoby or Downs. I don't love either, to be honest, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You must have some injury problems if those are the 4 wide receivers you're thinking of picking up. Which we've all been there. I luckily most of my teams I'm pretty injury free, which is probably knock on wood, but that does save a fantasy team for sure. Anyways, thank you for the comments. Back to the Giants and the Commies. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think 3 NFL plays locked in. This is not one yet, but this is the one that I haven't locked in that I am going to lock in. I'm also on the Giants. Yeah, I mean, I like the Giants this year, even though they're 2-6. Like you said, probably should have beat the Commanders first time out. Had a shot to beat the Cowboys. Had a real shot to beat the Bengals. That was a 17-7 final, but the Bengals had that Chase Brown late touchdown when he could have just slid down and knee out the clock to win by 3. And then had plenty of chances to beat the Steelers last week. Couldn't get it done. So they're struggling to finish games, which is a bit of a concern. But catching 4 at home, Washington off the Hail Mary. I mean, they're pretty much as high as you can get in a game that they were completely dead, about to lose, and then pull off the miraculous Hail Mary. So, yeah, I like the Giants quite a bit. They're winning this game outright, but I'm going to take the 4 points.
I love it. I love it. I'm seeing, well, it's probably because I'm in Washington, D.C., but there is a Washington Giants same game parlay boost on DraftKings that I probably will take advantage of. Don't know if that's just location dependent. I love it. Yeah, well, I don't love it, but freaking Giants, sign me up. Moving forward, while I can't talk on the 1 p.m. slate, game that I'm really having trouble with is this Ravens Broncos game. Ravens are a 9-point favorite after a loss to Cleveland last week. Over under is 46.5. If you remember, this is a very similar situation to when Baltimore lost their first game. They lost to the Chiefs and then ended up being at home against the Raiders. The Raiders knocked them off at a very similar 9-point spread. I think the Broncos are much better than the Raiders. And I think I just worry that it's this kind of the same reason people were on the Ravens so high that first time, because they can't lose 2 in a row, especially to the Raiders. Come on. I think it's kind of the same situation here. So I kind of want to take the Broncos. I just don't know why they're +9 here, um, which is why I'm really struggling. We do have a comment here from Steven over on Facebook, and Ben. Got the Ben has got to win this week, or else I'll blow it all up. I'm right there with you. And then Steven, fellas, half PPR, would you play Hunt or Hubbard? Also, how do we feel about Coker today?
Saw Coker
Um,
as a hot ad, but I don't know much about him.
yeah, I don't either.
I
Uh,
know with Deontay gone, I guess is Thielen still out? Is Coker playing wide receiver one? Is that? I don't know much about
I think
Coker.
Leggett or whatever his name is probably wide receiver one now.
Oh, you're right. Let me quick check.
Yeah.
As far as that running back situation, I don't think you can go wrong, but I think Hubbard's kind of a just a sneaky like top 5 running back.
Yeah, I'm right
I think that's
there.
pretty bad.
I love Hubbard. Obviously Hunt's doing a phenomenal job as well, but and there's not a whole lot of options on this Carolina team. And Hubbard is a dual threat back. He can catch it, he can run it. I'd go Hubbard for the half PPR. And then I have no play on Coker. It does say Leggett or whatever his name is questionable with a toe injury. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I was looking at Coker anytime touchdown though, just while we're on the subject, and I did think the line was pretty nice for that. Yeah, plus 430. Maybe not. I don't know enough about the guy to be honest.
Yeah, neither do I. Um, I know nothing. Yeah, but I do like Hubbard. I do like Hubbard quite a bit. But yeah, going back to the Broncos and the Ravens, is like why is the line 9? Is it just because the Broncos are the Broncos? They're 5 and
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, that's a complete stay away for me. I don't have a clue. I mean, Baltimore, gun to my head right now, I would pick them to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. Potentially win it, maybe over Detroit. Um, and I just don't expect Denver to keep playing the way they have been. I don't expect them to finish that much above 500. So I guess that would put me on Baltimore, and the line's weird. But yeah, I mean, Baltimore has Thursday night against Cincy on deck, so a short week to prepare for a divisional game. Denver has Kansas City on deck, who I mentioned in intentional lounging. I think they're going into that game thinking they have a legit shot to win, and to be honest, they probably do. Um, so yeah, I didn't look at this game very much. It's just a straight pass for me.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Ben says Coker would be like Bub Means, everyone injured, so you think that he'll get lots of work, but the team might just suck. Uh yeah,
It's true.
I get it. I get it. Yeah. Also, Bub Means is out for those Saints, and I do. We'll get to that Saints game, but I know yeah, I can easily convince Ethan on my prop for the Saints. Yeah, so right now I'm leaning the Broncos, but I am seeing they're a little public, 60% on Denver on DraftKings. Again, I don't know why the Ravens are so highly favored. Short week uh, against a 5-3 winning record Broncos. I don't quite get it. So yeah, that's looking like a stay away game. I am seeing a lot of people on Cortland Sutton in this game, at least on action. I've seen like 5 or 6 different props on his receiving yards, receptions, and possibly touchdown. The Ravens do have a very poor secondary, so maybe Bo Nix can dice him up and give it to Cortland. But I can't bet Cortland when he gets 10 receptions on 15 targets one week, and then the next week is not even targeted. So I don't trust the guy. But yeah, it's not looking like a game that I want to get involved in. To be honest, I'm too much in my head on this one, thinking that Denver's the easy play, which makes me then think I want to take the Ravens, which I think is 100% the wrong play. So too much in my head on this one. So yeah, I'm gonna skip over it because that's ass.
I am seeing an nope, 6 minutes ago, Ben Foxy, our boy, tweeted out the lopsided sides by total wagers on ESPN Bet. 75% Broncos +9.
Yeah, get that off my screen. Oh yeah, get that off my screen. If you guys in the comments have a better read on that play, please let us know because yeah, that one I don't quite get. let's go to the hat you're representing here. The Dolphins at the Bills. Bills have moved up slightly to a 6.5 point favorite. I am seeing they are one of the public teams today. Um, on DraftKings right now, they are 75%. On a couple of these tweets, I'm seeing them at 77% that I've screenshotted here. I forget what I gave out on the lounging show. I think I gave out the Dolphins. I still kind of stand by that, but I don't love it at all. I think this may be a player prop. Yeah, I did give out Miami. I think this may be a player prop game for me. A Chain. Again, I'm on Action. A lot of guys post props over there that I sometimes tail, or at least it's nice to look at to see what their brains are thinking. A lot of people on A Chain in this game. With Tua this year, 3 games when Tua's played the entire game. A Chain has 6+ receptions in each game, 50+ receiving yards in each game. I've seen a lot of people on both his receptions at 3.5 or 4.5. I think it's 4.5 on the over there. And his receiving yards, I think, is in the 50s somewhere. So I've seen a lot of people on both of those. I kind of like it as well. I do like A Chain to score as well at the plus 135, I believe. Yeah, plus 135 on DraftKings. You could probably find a better line. So that's kind of the position I'm looking at this game. Um, I don't really feel like taking the Bills. I do think Miami is still the right side, but I don't love how the line keeps moving in Buffalo's favor. So I'd probably stay away in the total. I might get involved on some A Chain props.
Yeah, I am seeing just because I was just looking at Ben Fox still. Most bet player prop. Achane
Mm.
over 37.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, there goes the cross it off. God,
He's
it's
not involved in any
37?
37.5. He's not involved in any of the top 5 first touchdowns or anytime touchdowns for
Okay,
what that's worth.
who is on the first or anytime touchdown list?
David Montgomery is number
Yep.
1.
I mean,
Chase
Death Tax
Brown.
is in Montgomery to score. Yep.
Yep.
It's Chase
Chase
Brown.
Brown, Brian Robinson, AJ Barner for Seattle,
Michigan man.
and Taysom Hill.
That's my boy. That's my bet.
That's your bet.
That's the bet I thought I could convince you on. That sucks that he's on there. Really? Taysom's on it?
Taysom's 5th most bet anytime.
Fuck. Really? He is
This might.
he was my dark horse here.
I
I
don't
love
know.
it.
This is just on BetMGM
Okay.
for what that's worth.
I mean I absolutely love. I'm gonna be all over Taysom today. I might
Yeah,
take
I
him
mean,
2 touchdowns.
I could be convinced. He's getting the start for me in fantasy. Not that I care. I'm done with fantasy. I've given up on the year. My best team is 4-5 or whatever the hell we're at now.
Taysom. Damn it! I wish he wasn't on that list. Yeah, I was all over Taysom. I'm all over Taysom. I'll probably get involved on him, but yeah, Miami Buffalo. What do you got here?
Yeah, I'm on Miami. Liking quite a bit. Wouldn't be shocked if they went outright. Obviously, the game that Tua went down in. Um, you have a 2-5 Miami, 6-2 Buffalo at Buffalo. Lines under a touchdown. It seems very easy to take Buffalo. Buffalo has such a huge lead in this division that I think they're feeling pretty good about themselves halfway through the season. Obviously, it would be nice to get this home win against Miami, but Miami's won 2 games. They just for the first time put up more than 20 points. They had 20 week 1, but first time getting over 20 points was last week in a loss. But when that injured quarterback comes back, you kind of like to fade him in that first game because the team, you know, figures, okay, he's back. We don't have to try maybe quite as hard. And so I wasn't shocked to see Arizona win that game. But now, there's a lot of urgency, and the Dolphins, like, they really aren't dead. Um, if they can pull off this win in Buffalo, they have a Monday nighter at the Rams, which a tough game, but could be winnable. The Raiders, the Patriots, they got the Jets twice, the Browns, Texans, the Niners, who I think are 2 teams that they could potentially beat. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think getting a win here could kind of kickstart their season and potentially make them think there's a playoff chance, which it wouldn't fully shock me if they do make a late run and at least are fighting for the playoffs late in the season. So yeah, I think Buffalo's just feeling pretty good about themselves. Think they can just stay home, get a nice easy win. They are traveling back from Seattle as well. yeah, I think we see the team play really hard for Tua, and Dolphins Bills seems to always be a pretty tight matchup. I mean, even in that playoff game with Skylar Thompson, Buffalo barely squeaked that one out. So yeah, I think Dolphins plus the 6.5 is what I locked in. I think it's the right side, and think they have a good chance to win.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm leaning. I don't know if I can get involved. Definitely going to probably leave out. Ooh, just news Puka will play today. I will be leaving out most likely A Chain now, unless I have some crazy parlay. But yeah, that's exactly what it hit. Where I lean. I did see, I forgot to mention about this Broncos Ravens game. Could be a different side to think about here. I've seen a lot of people on the Ravens first half at the -6. I get it. Do you think the Ravens? I don't know. That could be a different lean. But I've seen like 4 or 5 people on that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Again, probably not a game I want to get involved in. But yeah, I do like the Dolphins. It just seems like a game they could win too. And Tyreek goes off. Tua gets a win at Buffalo. Are the Dolphins back? The Twitter headlines. God,
right.
did they win
Tua
last week?
historically horrible in Buffalo, but he
Yeah.
gets them in early November.
What's the weather at? Is it above
Yeah,
45 degrees?
let me check.
Oh, they lost last week, didn't they? By 1.
Let me check that Buffalo weather here.
It says 54 game time.
Ooh, perfect Tua weather.
Anything below 50 and Tua's throwing
Yeah,
3 picks and getting his Tua fingers back.
yeah.
It is the craziest stat that someone went out there and figured out how bad Tua plays in cold weather. The dedication, I appreciate.
It snows in Bama though. Don't forget.
That's true. That's true. Raiders, Bengals. Bengals -8 over under 45. I haven't even looked at this game. I don't even want to dive in at all. Do you have anything
No,
at all? Yeah.
nothing. All I'll say is I did pick this for our survivor this week, and
The
it scares
Bengals.
me. Yeah, I would never lay 7.5 points with this Bengals team that we've
No.
seen for 8 straight games.
But that
Never
being
in my
said,
life.
they might win by 4 touchdowns
30.
or they're going to lose by, 7-3 or some bullshit
Right.
like that. So, yeah, I don't trust, and the Raiders are weird. Play good sometimes, play absolutely. They might some games be worse than the Panthers, and some games they could, I think, beat just about anyone in the league. So, yeah, I don't like that game. Let's just roll over that one.
I would say maybe have not done any research, but maybe a Bengals team total over potentially. Don't trust their defense to get stops, but I think they probably score.
Yeah, I agree. I just worry about Max a little bit if he can. I feel like he could disrupt Burrow,
Yeah,
but
I'm
who
staying
knows?
off that game.
Yeah, it's an ugly game. Cowboys Falcons. I have no freaking idea. I was pretty high on Atlanta. I believe they are my. No, they are not. I believe. I don't know. It's just such. Falcons are 3-point favorites at home. Over unders at 52. Are you still? You and Ben are on the Cowboys. Are you still high on Dallas?
Uh, Again, this is a complete stay away. It's still my lean. Like I could see either of these teams winning. So I don't know. I just don't like the spot that Atlanta's in with those at 4-0 in the division and then a fifth divisional game on deck. I just feel like they're pretty comfortable where they are. So,
Yeah.
but I think they're the better team. So yeah, I don't like that game.
I think I'm gonna get involved on Dallas. I think I'm gonna flip from my intentional lounging prediction, which was Falcons. I think I'm gonna get involved on Dallas. Ooh, Twitter.
Oh, uh-oh. Don't get involved
Hmm.
on Dallas.
Let me see. From Ben Fox, literally 6 seconds ago. 3 sharp plays, according to Prime Sportsbooks via Joe Brennan Jr. Saints -7, Falcons -3, Colts +5.5. Well,
I like one of those.
I like the Colts quite a bit.
I love the Colts.
Okay, good. I'm gonna get involved on Indy tonight. By the way, yeah, just kidding. Might not get involved on the Cowboys there. I don't. I mean, I don't hate the over. just seems pretty obvious. What are these percentages at? It's like 50-50 on DraftKings, over unders 64% on the over. God damn, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's probably gonna be a player prop frenzy in that game. I know Rico Dowdle's back for Dallas. Olave, or not Olave. Drake London should be back as well, but he'll probably get knocked out if I bet him on the first play. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the over, but I think that's pretty public there. I think Dallas is what's their record now? It can't be good, right?
3-4.
3-4, so they're not dead. This is no way a must-win game. It would be a nice win, but who do they have on deck? Eagles on deck. God, I don't know. I'm leaning Dallas, but yeah, that tweets kind of sucks. But we'll see. This brings me to my second bet of the day. Again, my first bet was on the Giants at the +4. Second bet is in this Patriots-Titans game, and unfortunately, I'm on the Titans at the -3. The 1-6 Titans, I'm taking them 3 points at home against the Patriots. Patriots coming off a win against the Jets. Titans coming off a massacre against the Lions. They lost that game 52-14. Patriots beat the Jets 25-22. Some reason that I am really failing to understand. These Titans are not just the favorite, but 3, and on some books, 3.5 point favorites to win this game. They are my survivor pick, and they are my bet to cover today at the -3. And I really should not be involved in this. This is actually, I think, it's not my favorite bet, but it's my favorite betting reasoning bet. It's a terrible gut play, or it's not a gut play. I have a terrible feeling about this, but I do think the Titans are the right side. I don't know. I'm on them, and I'm really failing to understand why I am, but I'm on Tennessee. I think it's the right side, and I'm just not proud.
Yeah, I need to stay off this game, but
Yeah.
Tennessee's the side.
Yeah,
I mean,
please, if you're throwing any money on this game, you should really look at yourself in the mirror and figure out what's wrong, because this is bad. But
yeah, I mean, I hope I don't get involved on the Titans, but they're absolutely the side. Like, everyone's just gonna look at Patriots won, then the Jets went out and beat the Texans. Like, oh wow, okay, Texans are still God's gift to the NFL. Titans got boat raced by Detroit, but if you look at the box score in that game, like, they really didn't. They had 6 more first downs. They had more than 10 minutes time of possession over Detroit. Let's see, total yards 416 to 225. Yeah, I mean 2-4 in the red zone. Like, they're probably gonna do better than that. They had 4 turnovers, lost the turnover battle by 4. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Lions got lucky on. They started like every single drive in Tennessee territory. I mean, they had the Khalif Raymond punt return that didn't score, but it got them down inside like the 20. The one they did score on, they had the did Branch or Kirby Joseph have a pick six or close to a pick six?
yep.
Um,
There was a point in that game where 4 out of the 5 Lions drives started within Tennessee's 30-yard line.
yeah.
It was like the first 5 drives, 4 of them were within Tennessee's 30-yard line. It's pretty hard to lose a game when all you need to do is get 30 yards.
Right.
You're already in field. The worst case scenario, kick a field goal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Khalif Raymond, I think he was 18 yards away from breaking the single game record for punt return yards. I think they had over 300 return between like defensive returns and special teams return yardage. So I hope I don't get involved on the Titans, but they're absolutely the right side.
Yeah.
I might bet them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on them. I'm not proud. I mean, my 2 bets right now, I have 3 of them, but my 2 bets right now that I've given out are terrible. Giants +4, Titans -3. I mean, those are I'm on these freaking teams every week too, and I don't know. I keep saying I just need to bet good teams, but it always brings me back. I'm addicted to these ugly teams and these ugly lines, and there's no business. I think the Patriots are just outright potentially just the better team. And I get it, they're at Tennessee, but yeah, there's three. It's 3.5 on majority of these books. -3 is the best odds at -125. So who's taking the Titans at home plus 3.5? I don't get it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
I think I'm gonna half unit it just to have action on it, but not overexpose. I came in here saying I would not bet that game, but I mean it's the side. I wish we would have used that for our squad ride, by the way. I do not like our squad ride anymore.
What's our squad ride?
Arizona.
Oh,
I hate it.
Jesus. Okay, Zone Read Fantasy in the comments. Pollard or Reed, half PPR. Pollard, I know, is questionable. I believe he's probably going to play. The problem with Reed is it's almost like the Packers are almost becoming like the Texans or even like the Chiefs. There's just, or I guess a better would be like a better example would be like the Niners. The Texans or the Niners. There's too many offensive weapons. Obviously, Jaden Reed is a beast, but Romeo Doubs is a freak. You have Wicks, who catches occasional passes. You have Christian Watson, who is the weirdest player I've ever seen in my life, but he could have 40 fantasy points or not get targeted. You have Kraft for the Packers, the tight end, who is now coming into being a top 5 tight end in the league. Too many options. With that being said, Detroit has a very, in my opinion, I'm a Detroit fan, so is Ethan, and I'm super critical of their defense. I don't know why we still have Aaron freaking Glenn. I can't stand the guy, but Detroit secondary is not good unless it's Brian Branch back there or potentially Joseph. The rest of the guys are ass. So bad secondary. I just don't know what Packer is going to get the yards. So I think the safer play would be Pollard against the Pats, but Reed could also go exponentially explosive. I don't know.
I like Reed, and kind of here's why. It's going to be bad weather in Green Bay today. It's going to be raining, like low 50s and rain, basically all game. And I think they're going to be able to get. I think that's actually going to play into Jaden Reed more than it will Dobbs. Like Dobbs is probably going to be further out of the game plan. They might run him deep to take coverage and maybe throw him a deep ball, but I think they're going to get Reed involved in like some short screens, some end arounds, some easier plays that are easier to connect on in that rain. So I'm actually pretty high on Jaden Reed today. I'm playing him in all of my fantasy lineups that I have him in, and yeah, I think he has a nice little game. Like, wouldn't be shocked if he goes for 100 total yards and like 2 scores.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see it. But the same problem I have with the Niners. Every time I, want to start Debo, Ayuk, I know Ayuk's out, but then Ayuk is the guy that's targeted. And when I start Debo or when I start Ayuk, then it's Kittle the guy's targeted. When I start all three of them, then it's the running back. That's it's a lot of weapons, but I do know Detroit's defense is Swiss cheese, especially the secondary. So yeah, I think you got good options there. Again, I do think the safe play would be Pollard if you're desperate for a win. Or if you want that boomer bust, I think Reed is probably your go-to.
It's like Miami too. I
Right.
had Jalen Waddle for 1 year. Love the guy most weeks, but I just couldn't ever take him again because some days he has 2 scores, some days he has 1 catch for 7 yards. Then
It's
Achane goes and runs for 60 yards on a drive, and then they pounded him with Mostert. And yeah, just an issue.
It's a good issue for a team offensively to have a lot of weapons, but for fantasy, it's always tough. Let's continue through. We have 2 more 1 p.m. games. Saints Panthers. Saints are a 7-point favorite. Over under is 43.5. This is at Carolina. Carr is back. I'm not going to bet the Panthers. I do lean the Panthers, but I'm not betting them. I'm done losing money on Carolina. I did just lock in with the free bet, $25 free bet to win $250. Taysom Hill, 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns for Taysom. I like it. I don't know why, but I like it. Yeah, do you have again, I would traditionally lean the Panthers. I've lost a lot of money on this team. I'm done betting them. I like fading a quarterback returning after injury, which is what Derek Carr and the Saints are doing, but I'm not gonna. It's a divisional game. I don't know. I'm not getting involved. Just Taysom Hill props for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to fade Carr, but it's also Bryce Young back under center for the Panthers, and there's no chance I'm playing on him. If it was Andy Dalton, I'd consider it. Fox tweeting out that New Orleans is the sharp play. I'm not getting involved whatsoever.
Yep. Ugly game. That brings us to another ugly game. Chargers at the Browns. Browns are a 1-point home dog. Browns coming off a win last week outright against the Ravens. Chargers are coming off whatever the Chargers are doing this year, beating a subpar team. And look at, they're playing another subpar team. So, yeah, I kind of want to take the Chargers, but I don't think I'm going to get involved on this game either.
Yeah, I do have the Browns sweatshirt on here too. I think I gave out the Browns. I can't even remember. I lean the Browns, but I think I'm just going back to Njoku anytime touchdown. I think I'm gonna keep riding it. Still like plus 260. I get a
Yep.
boost on FanDuel every week, so I have to use it. And I searched far and wide. There are a few guys that I kind of leaned on. Um, yeah, I think Njoku at plus 260 is just a nice number.
Yeah, he's kind of starting to get targeted, probably because they don't have a whole lot of options over there. Getting rid of what's his face, Cooper. Chubb is back, but there's not a whole lot of wide receiver options, and Jameis is much more of a passer than now Watson is. Watson in his past was probably the better passer, but he is far from his past. So yeah, I mean, if they're still giving out those odds, that's pretty crazy. I don't know when they're gonna catch on that. And Njoku's getting like 10 targets a game now. So I don't hate that at all.
I did quick before we move on to the afternoon. One I was looking at, there's just no chance I could get there. That Nick Ikine, Nick Westbrook Ikine, I think, for the Titans. Plus 600 on FanDuel anytime touchdown. 3 straight games with a touchdown. The only issue in those 3 games, 5 catches. So
5 catches, 3 touchdowns.
yeah.
Who is that?
Yep.
Is that Keon Coleman or?
Yeah, yeah. It's like Joseph Fourier. Remember that tight end Detroit had?
Mm-hmm.
Dude had like 20 catches in the year and 11 touchdowns or something.
I mean, someone has to score in that game, right? Mm-hmm. Titans Patriots, but also, do they really? That game could end 6-3, and I would not be surprised in the slightest. But
right,
someone should hypothetically score. That brings us to our 4 p.m. slate. So quickly, the 1 p.m. slate. I am on the Giants, unfortunately, and I'm on the Titans. Do you have any plays that you have locked in on that 1 p.m. just for a quick recap?
Yep, Dolphins plus 6.5, and I'm gonna have the Giants plus 4.
Okay, lovely.
And,
that brings
Njoku touchdown.
And Njoku, and I'm on Taysom 2 touchdowns. Taysom Hill 2 touchdowns. We'll probably throw Taysom 1 touchdown in a parlay. 4 p.m. slate. We have Bears Cardinals. Gonna be completely honest with you guys, I'm skipping this game entirely. 2 very, very average, similar teams. Bears off a Hail Mary loss. Cardinals at home on a comeback win against Miami. It honestly would be a true coin flip who I would pick, and I don't really feel like losing money based on a 50-50 decision with no stats. So I'm staying away. Do you have any read on that game?
Yeah, my gut's telling me the Bears. I know we squad rated the Cards. I hate it. I kind of think the Bears are maybe the play, but not betting it. Staying away.
Yep. I like it. That brings us to, I like that we're staying away because it's a bad game. That brings us to another game, also at the early 4 p.m. slate, 4:05 kickoff. We have the Jags at the Eagles. Eagles are a 7.5-point favorite. Everyone on the Jags is either questionable, killed, or out. Gabe Davis, questionable with a shoulder. Brian Thomas Jr., questionable with a chest. That's weird. Travis Etienne, questionable with, but it's considered likely. Okay, so then why is he questionable? Tank Bigsby, questionable with an ankle, is expected to play. So why is he? ESPN fix it. I don't get it. But a lot of guys out for the Jags.
All those guys are in.
Okay, so it's just smoke and mirrors over here. Goddard still out for the Eagles. Slay out for the Eagles.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
I'm still pretty big on the Jags. Just simply because I think the Jag and they are a do not bet team They are on my list of do not bet teams, but I'm not super strict on that list. I can't trust the Eagles to cover a 7.5 points spread. I know they just had a 20-point win against the Bengals. I know they had a 25-point win against the Giants. They had a 4-point win against the Browns. This team does have 3 wins in a row. They might be feeling like, oh, is Philly back? Hey, we got AJ Brown back. That means we're back, right? Seems like a lot of points, and I just can't trust a clown coach and a clown team that I think Philly is. They're good and then they're bad. I don't know. I like the Jags. I lean the Jags. I hope I don't get involved on the Jags, but I probably will.
Yeah, I've locked in the Jags plus 7.5. I honestly love everything about it except that the line is 7.5. I wish it was 6.5. Because that 7.5 is just kind of a double-edged sword. Like, yes, it's nice to have the hook on the full touchdown, but also, why are they giving us the hook on the full touchdown? So, yeah, but I still like them. I mean, to be honest, I don't think I'd lay 7.5 with the Eagles against Carolina at home. I really don't. I cannot trust the Eagles to cover over a touchdown versus anybody. They're very similar to the Bengals to me. They're just having luckier results, getting the wins, playing somewhat of a weak schedule. Yeah, I cannot trust Philly whatsoever. So I'm on the Jags. I think they're two fairly similar teams. The over's got to be public as hell. I don't see this game staying under. I've just been awful on the totals this year though, so I'm staying away from all totals. But yeah, I think Jags have a chance to win this one outright.
I got a comment from Buffalo Bills fan. Hey guys, should I start Tillman, Worthy, or Mooney at flex? Should I start any of them over Tyreek at wide receiver 2? He usually isn't great against the Bills. This is also from an account called Buffalo Bills fan, so he probably knows how Tyreek plays against Buffalo. I would definitely keep Tyreek in. If you're drafting a guy, he was going what 3, 4, 5 in fantasies. If we're not starting him, I don't know what we're doing. I know he hasn't been great, but he also hasn't had Tua, and I know Tua isn't great, but he does do much better against Tua. So you got to start Tyreek. It's just more of a if you draft a guy in the first round, I'm starting him unless he's dead or injured. So that's just kind of how I feel. I hate having the thought process that I was a poor fantasy manager and drafted the wrong guy. So I just will play him until he's dead. So I definitely started Tyreek. In regards to Tillman, Worthy, or Mooney, do you have a lead on that one? I would go ahead.
Yeah, definitely Tyreek. I would not bench Tyreek. Mooney or Worthy. I don't know. I always just like the gadget guys like Worthy, and Mooney's just not a sexy pick at all. But I don't know. I could see that game being high scoring, and I do think the Chiefs Tampa is going to be a lower scoring game. So I guess I'd probably go Mooney.
Yeah, I'd go either Worthy or Mooney. Tillman, I know had a great week last week or a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But I think Worthy and Mooney are much more high production guys. Both the Bucks and the Cowboys defenses are not fantastic in the secondary. So I think each of those guys should do pretty well. So yeah, Worthy or Mooney for me, but definitely you got to start Tyreek. And he might have 1.5 fantasy points, but yeah, you got to start him in my opinion. That's what I do with all my first round guys. Got to start them. Even the top 3 guys. I benched Laporta a couple weeks. I think I drafted him in the 3rd or 4th round. Terrible pick, but it breaks my heart benching him. But I don't know. You got to start him sometimes. Tyreek. What if Tyreek gets 30 points and then you're like, oh, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know.
I have Tyreek on 2 of my leagues, and I think I have him on a league with like Neighbors and Marv. No, I can't have Marv. I don't know. Good receivers, and I just cannot get myself to bench him. So I'll be riding with you if you do play Tyreek Hill. I am right there with you. 2 leagues with Tyreek in my lineup.
Yeah. Where are we at now? We just talked about the Bears and the Cardinals. That brings us to the 425 games. Let's start with the Rams and the Seahawks first. This is a divisional game. Seahawks are a 1.5-point favorite or 1.5-point dog at home. Over under is 48.5. We have Marv or Downs half PPR. I think you got to go with Marv Harrison Jr. there.
Yep.
Okay. Um, Rams, Seahawks. Seahawks home dogs, 1.5 point favorite. Cup and Puka are playing. I'm on the Seahawks. This is my third bet that I've locked in. I'm on the Seahawks on the spread here. I like it quite a bit. Think they win this game outright.
I want to get involved in this game, but I'm just going back and forth. I'm I'm such a sucker for a Cooper Cup touchdown. I just feel like once they get in the red zone, they run Kyron once, they can't get it, then it's like kind of panic mode. Like, all right, let's just go to our bread and butter, Stafford to Cup. It's like plus 120. I don't know. I want to get involved in that game, but I have nothing yet. And I'm kind of going back and forth on if I like the Rams or the Seahawks.
Yeah, I just like the Seahawks because again, the Rams have their boys back. Everyone's high on the Rams. They just came off a win. Who did they just beat? The Vikings, or is that a couple? Yeah, they just coming off a
Yeah.
10-point win against the Vikings. Seahawks coming off a 21-point loss at home to the Bills. Seahawks are without Metcalf, without Fant. And then again, the Rams have Puka and Cup back coming off a big win against the undefeated Vikings. It seems to me way too obvious to take the Rams. I think the home field advantage of Seattle and just Seattle playing better against a divisional opponent, getting up for it, is to me a clear and obvious choice. Um, for the right betting side is Seattle. So I love Seattle. It's probably my favorite out of my three bets. That's not saying much because my other two bets are the Giants and the freaking Titans. But yeah, I like Seattle. I think that they win this game outright. Kind of lean the under too, but I'm not going to get involved on totals today. I don't think. Then that brings us to our boys, Lions Packers. I know you are on the Packers. Why don't you take it away here?
Yeah, there's a reason I'm wearing no Lions, and it's because I love the Packers today. +3, locked it in. 2 units, looking to add to it. Potentially 3, 4, or even 5. Love the Packers. Think they win outright. Think it's actually a good loss for Detroit if the Green Bay wins this game. Uh, yeah, they play each other again on Thursday Night Football in Detroit, so that's going to be a massive one as well. Yeah, I think the Packers at home. Uh, the Lions are literally as high as they could possibly be at this point. They had that just dismantling of the Cowboys, then gave Minnesota their first loss, and then just dismantled the Titans team at home. Flying high on the road, Sunday Night Football on deck. Green Bay squeaked one out against the Jags. I do think they were looking ahead, bye week on deck, so they're going to give their biggest effort here. Goff outside in the rain, not a great track record. Yeah, I just am all over the Packers. Over a field goal, I would be cautious on the 2.5, I will say. But get the 3, love the Packers.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just saying Brian Robinson ruled out, so that means I'm starting. Couldn't even tell you in this freaking fantasy league here.
That better not shift that line.
I literally don't have a freaking running back, man. Singletary, I guess. All right. You're up, kid. Good luck. Go get him.
I believe he has taken a back seat to Tyrone Tracy.
Fuck. I mean, what other running backs are there out here? Yeah, I lean the Packers as well. Don't know if I'm going to get involved betting against Detroit, but I like it. I think it's the right side. Yeah, I might. I'm waiting for my buddy to send some parlays. Might just do a parlay in that game. Same game parlay. Yeah, don't love it at all, but I think Green Bay probably is going to win this game outright, especially if you can get them at the +3 at home. That seems crazy to me. I know Detroit's great and they've looked phenomenal last couple weeks, but Packers are damn good. Packers are damn good, and at home, cold, rainy game. I think it's got to be, especially for Detroit, who are the Dome Kings, as Ben calls them.
Yeah.
This is a lot of weather and variables for a team that's very used to playing indoors here. So I lean Green Bay quite a bit.
Yeah. Also, I mean, until the Raymond returns last week and some of the turnovers, like Tennessee was keeping right up with Detroit. And I mean, yeah, arguably outplayed them. If you, it's hard to say when you have those returns. I mean, Detroit still probably, gets a lot of offensive yardage if they aren't returning the ball 80 yards. But yeah, yeah, selling on Detroit at their very peak here.
Yeah, I agree. And then Sunday night's game. This is between the Colts and the Vikings. I love the Colts, and I believe you do too. Is that correct?
Money line.
Wow, Colts money line. No way the Vikings could lose three in a row, right?
No
Uh,
way. They're great. Darnold MVP, man.
yeah, they're at home against Joe
Yeah.
Flacco. They get not even starting their starting quarterback. Yeah, I love Indianapolis here. Absolutely love them.
Yeah.
Seeing
Thank
plus
God it's
five.
Flacco. Thank God.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thank God. It's I don't know what happened to Richardson, but he's not it. He's not it. And Flacco is I don't know. I trust Flacco more than half the QBs in the league. Um, and Vikings defense is a little suspect. Yeah, I like Indianapolis. And again, those 5 point spreads, I usually always like taking the dog with the 5 point spread just because it's a weird number and it's not a football number. And it seems easy to take a team. We see a lot of games end at 6, see a lot of games end at obviously the 7. And the 5 is just a weird number you just don't really see. You see a lot of games at the 4, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna be on the Colts. Haven't placed it yet, but I am seeing there were a couple 5.5s hanging around there. I'm just seeing 5s right now, but might just wait till kickoff to maybe get a 5.5. Probably won't get a 6 out there, but yeah, I lean the Colts quite a bit.
Here's the most disgusting play that has no shot of hitting, but it's just been a gut feeling of mine since I woke up at like 4 o'clock this morning with the reset. I went to bed early last night, and this play has just spoken to me. Joe Flacco, anytime touchdown, or
Really,
first, or first touchdown.
he can even run.
Nope. Hard fake to Jonathan Taylor. Defense sucks in. You know the Peyton Manning
Yeah, a
touchdown,
little
but
bare naked boot.
yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
What are the odds on that touchdowns? I'm gonna say DraftKings has terrible odds for touchdown scores, but let me.
Yeah. I saw him on FanDuel at like 1,300 anytime. It was like plus 5,000 first.
Yeah, 6,500 first on DraftKings, 1,300 anytime for Joe Flacco.
Has
That
no
guy's
chance of hitting. Don't do it. But
God.
when it hits, think about me.
I love it. All right, that's the slate. We have about an hour, a little over an hour till kickoff. Do you want to just give your plays quickly? Again, we do post all of our plays over on Twitter before each game. If you guys do want to check those out, you just want to post your play or say your plays before we close out here.
Yes, and I have not been posting on Twitter. I said if the Warriors beat the Pelicans the other night when I was on the Pelicans, I would refrain for a little bit. So I'm trying to work through the kinks of the terrible stretch I'm on. So yeah, I probably won't be posting them today, but I am on Miami plus 6.5. I will be on Njoku anytime touchdown. I will be on the Giants plus 4, although it looks like that might be going to 4.5. It's minus 102 right now on DraftKings. Um, Jags plus 7.5. I have locked in 2 units. Packers plus 3 will be adding to it, and I will be on the Colts plus 5.5. And then just really quick, I do have a NHL play locked in. It's probably great fade material because I can't hit. 1 p.m. game, Battle of the New Yorks, Islanders at Rangers, under 6, minus 115. Sorokin versus Shesterkin. 2 of my favorite under goalies. Probably 8-5 final, but I'm taking the under.
I love it. I love it. I got 4 plays locked in right now. I am on the Giants at the plus 4, the Titans at the minus 3, Seattle at the plus 1.5, and then Taysom Hill 2+ touchdowns. I will be probably adding the Colts. I will be adding the Colts for sure. Might be adding the Dolphins and might be adding the Jags to that. I'm waiting for my buddy who is a Detroit diehard, sends me parlays every Sunday morning. Has not done it yet, probably the daylight savings time. But I will be having a couple parlays out there. I will maybe post those, and then maybe a couple more straight plays. But again, follow us on Twitter. That's where we post all of our plays. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy this Sunday. Hopefully, you guys can make some money. Enjoy the extra hour of sleep, of time, of whatever, but also enjoy the sun going down at 3 p.m. in the afternoon if you're an East Coaster like me. Yeah, winter is here. So enjoy the enjoy the early darkness. But yeah, good luck, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you do like, subscribe, and share over here on YouTube. Trying to get to 1,000 subs. if you guys, the more you guys like, share, and subscribe, the more we can get you guys more content out here. But anything before we close out here?
Yeah, just one last thing. College hoops is back tomorrow. And with that comes Michigan State home opener. I will be in attendance, so no Monday Night Live tomorrow for the two of us who will be taking it off. So I guess do you want to go over that game quick, or
Yeah,
just
we
tweet
can
out
just.
players, or...
I don't have any. I haven't even looked at it yet. I can give you my 2 cents real quick here. We have the Bucks at the Chiefs. Chiefs are at the -9. Over under is 46. Yeah, I mean, I got nothing.
I'll need to look more, but leans are definitely Bucks plus the points and the under.
Yeah, I would
And I'll
lean the
probably be
under.
on one of those.
I would lean the under. I don't know what I'm going to do on the side. So no play for me yet. I would lean on the under heavy. I'll tweet out something. I'll definitely have a play. I've been doing pretty well on those Monday nights and Thursday night games, so I'll definitely tweet out something out there. This ugly but Mostert, Jake Furry, or Elijah Moore. I like Ferguson at the flex there. I don't love tight ends at the flex, but I like Ferg today quite a bit. I'd either do Ferguson or Elijah would be my guess.
Who was the first name?
Mostert.
I like Mostert.
Ethan likes Mostert. So that was zero help. I apologize, Footy University. I'm a pretty big Jake Ferguson guy. I do like him. I bet on him quite a bit. He's done me well, but I don't love starting tight ends in flexes unless there's a fantasy league where tight ends get more points or whatever. So I would lean. Yeah, I don't know. I think you got 3 good options there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Mostert only had one less carry than Achane last week. He hawked 2 touchdowns as well, so
yeah,
I kind of like Mostert, but he's hit or miss. The whole offense is hit or miss.
Yep. But good luck, guys. Hope you guys win some money. Mostert did get a lot of goal line touches last week. Is the only thing. Yeah, we both kind of lean Miami as well today. So maybe he could surprise us here. But we appreciate you guys. We're gonna sign off here for the day, getting our fantasy lineups set, our bets set as well. We appreciate you guys. Happy Sunday. Good luck, good scores, and Godspeed.